Alright, my game is Pokemon Unite. It actually just came out yesterday for time of recording.
Wow.
But we're on vacation.
So I haven't gotten to play a ton, and what I have played, I will admit, has been a little laggy out here in the cabins.
In the sticks.
And that matters because Pokemon Unite is a MOBA. But it's a Pokemon MOBA, which I actually recommended they do like
Pokemon.
years ago.
MOBA.
Pokemon. Pokemon. I can't do it.
Anyway,
Can't figure it out.
thought we were going to do something here, but didn't quite work out. So, but it's a Pokemon MOBA. What is a MOBA? It's a multiplayer online battle arena. And the most common that you'll see are League of Legends and Dota 2. But this takes a lot of what League of Legends does and simplifies it and smashes it down and makes it more beginner-friendly and takes away some of the complications.
Okay.
So what is it? It's a game where it's 5-on-5. One team on the left, one team on the right, and you have to get you kill like random monsters. So there's an element of PvP and PvE. PvP is player versus player and player versus environment, respectively. And when you kill these monsters, you get points in the form of Pokeballs, and you spend them at your opponent's base, which will eventually destroy bits and pieces of their base. And the goal is to destroy as much of their base as possible.
Okay.
They're doing the same to you. You get a lot of points by killing the other players. And of course, you also make them go on a wait timer so that they're not on the map, so they can't defend themselves. So the goal is to beat them before they beat you. It's very, very simple. There are no items. They're just Pokemon. And they level up and eventually evolve if they're able to do so. Like I played with Charmander, which evolves into Charmeleon and then into Charizard, who becomes an awesome monster that can soar through the air. Every time they level up, they gain the ability to either add a spell or alter an existing spell, or change the spell entirely to something new, which I like. Because it kind of reminds me of Pokemon in general, where you're like getting new spells and everything. And when you get to your final form, you're like your evolution or just the max level that they want you to be at, you'll get a special move as well. That's devastating. And I like that. It's very, very beginner friendly. It's very fast paced. The games last actually usually 10 minutes flat because it's got a timer. And so it's just whoever got the most points wins. So, very beginner friendly, easy to jump into. It's free. You don't have to pay for anything.
Terry.
You can just jump on in. I highly, highly recommend it. If you're looking for where's the catch, the cash flow comes from buying skins, and I believe you can also buy Pokemon. But you can also buy them in-game through currency by just playing it. So that's where it gets interesting with free-to-play games. Is there a pay-to-win? Theoretically, no. But with this game, if you can buy a champion that is stronger, like statistically, then you can get into the complication of pay to win. But a good game will not do that. That's all I'll say. And time will only tell if that happens.
What's the difference between an RTS and a MOBA?
That's a very good question. They come from RTSs. So that's where it originated, is a game called... Well, I think originally came from... it's like Aeon Storm or something close to that. And then it evolved into Dota, Defense of the Ancients, and that comes from Warcraft 3. So it's built on the RTS engine, so the idea of an RTS is all there, except you control one character, and the interface is around one character instead of you clicking multiple units.
Okay.
So in League of Legends, the RTS influence is a lot stronger because you have wave management, and you have to be creative about how your different waves of troops are fighting, and you can manipulate it by doing damage or doing this or that. In Pokemon, they get rid of all that. It's just the 5 units versus 5 units, all player controlled. So it's not too RTS-y.
To what extent is Pokemon Unite a gentleman's game? And I can clarify that.
Yes, please.
A gentleman's game being that you start off on equal footing. Notoriously, Pokemon is, it's kind of just like, Pokemon have different levels, and some are stronger, more viable than others. To what extent, if you start a match with any of the selectable characters, are you starting with on the same foot as the other player?
That's a good question. I noticed that I'm looking at it, and as I'm playing it more, I'm realizing you can attach items to your Pokemon. Now, they're not like statistical items, they're usually a healing item. But I do notice it's interesting that you can do that and also not do that. Because when you first start out, you don't really have any items. So it seems to me that it's possible you could have a person with 3 items, like 3 heals, and 1 without. At least at first. I would imagine that ends very quickly, but I can put a comment on this in case that doesn't happen, because I'm going to keep playing it. I actually really, really like it. But that would be the only thing that would make it not equal footing. Unless, like I mentioned, they release a champion that is overpowered. Which tends to happen in these games. But when you make one of these, you have to dedicate a team to balance. And it literally came out yesterday, so I can't really speak to them saying, like, we're fixing and patching. But I'd be very curious if they maintain that, because I don't know if Nintendo's really famous for that.
So how does this compare to other MOBAs you played?
It is very simplified and streamlined. There's a game called Heroes of the Storm. It's by Blizzard, so if you like Blizzard characters and want to get into MOBA, that would be a way. And that game is also very streamlined. There are no items in that game either. And that's where the complexity of League of Legends and Dota comes into play, is you can buy items for your character. And that means that throughout the game you're collecting gold, you're doing resource management, and this game gets rid of all that. So the only way you get stronger is by killing stuff and your stats go up. That's it. So it's just it's very solid, very capable. It's just, if you take those mechanics, it's incredibly simplified. Which might be a positive, because the user base theoretically would be E for everyone. So,
Would you say this warrants playing online or even the Switch online membership?
I didn't even think about that.
Wait, do you need it? It's where it's free to play?
I would assume you would need it to be on the...
Because most free to play games don't use...
They don't use the online service? Oh. If you don't need it, then yeah, I mean, there'd be no reason. If it did require it, I mean, I think it wouldn't hurt. But yeah, it might not require it. I'm not sure. It's a good question.
I guess what I'm asking is, like, is the gameplay and the match making process so much fun that it would be worth getting the Switch online service to use? I know you've just got it yesterday and we're in the sticks with no Wi-Fi, but like, theoretically, I guess.
Yeah, it's. I think it's definitely worth it. It's like the time to play. Again, 10-minute matches, and it takes about 30 seconds to get into a game. So you can pound out a ton of games and ton of content really, really quickly.
Yeah.
I think it's phenomenal for how quickly it just released and is off to a really good start.
Pound it out.
Cool. Well, if that's all, Pokemon, unite!
Pound it out.
I'll drink to that.
Hey y'all, don't forget to subscribe to them button mappers.